I think one of the worst things in the world about being a music producer is the holidays. Every time I get asked, well, what do you want for Christmas? Well, what do you want for this holiday or that holiday? Or what can I get you for the holidays? I always have a really hard time giving that answer because in what we do, things are either hyper specific or very expensive. So today I'm going to talk about a handful of items that are under $25 that I think would make great gifts for the music producer in your life, whether that's for you or that's for someone you're going to buy for. All the links for these things, if you want to check them out, will be in the description of this video. They are Amazon affiliate links, and I appreciate anybody that buys through those. But let's get right to the first one. So the first recommendation is getting a headphone amp. If you are having people record at your spot, or you're ever wanting to record multiple people on the mic at the same time, maybe for claps or gang vocals or some other really specific part, something like this is going to allow you to have up to 4 headphones plugged in at the same time with individual volume control of the overall volume, not of the mix, but of the overall volume for each person. And this way, the person on the mic can have a separate controlled volume different from the person that is running the session. This also just gives you an extra air of professionalism when somebody walks into your studio and they don't have to, blow their ears out by putting on a pair of headphones, and they have at least a little bit of control. It's thoughtfulness. It's leaning into, I'm trying to take care of you as the artist. You can find these things for right at about $25. They make some more expensive ones and some slightly cheaper ones. So right at the $25 mark, I'll leave a link in the description for the one that I'm showing on the screen right now. The next thing might seem a little silly, but I feel like it's been severely undervalued, and that is a clip-on guitar tuner. And these could also work for ukuleles or any kind of other stringed instrument as well. This D'Addario one that I have is $15 on Amazon. I just recently bought this one to replace an old broken one. And I forgot, because mine was broken for so long, I forgot how convenient having one of these things on all of my guitars at all times is, especially whenever I'm changing strings or trying to track an acoustic and I don't necessarily want to use a tuner plug-in with an acoustic guitar. It's just a little more complicated. So this makes that a lot easier, and you're always in tune and you're getting the best takes you possibly can. And for $15 to make your song sound even better, super worth it. The next recommendation is less of a specific thing and more of a category, and that is books. Most of the time you're going to find books somewhere between $15 and $25, depending on the book, but I feel like books are going to have the biggest value as far as you growing as a person and a producer. And you can even find things like this book, Dilla Time. This book is the story of hip-hop producer J Dilla, and talking about his reinvention of rhythm and beat. And there's even a beat called the Dilla beat after J Dilla. And so this book kind of talks about his life and times and his come up and all of that. Or if you want something more generally creative focused, you could get The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. This is a really great book for if you want to just dive into the depth of what it means to be a creative person in general. And a lot of people will talk about this book, but Steal Like an Artist is a fantastic option as a book. These books are also like $7 or $8 a piece. I was able to get the 3-book selection, Keep Going, Show Your Work, and Steal Like an Artist, around the holidays for about $25. So if you keep an eye out for sales, you'll be able to get that for under the $25 price. And that's 3 books for under $25, which is a great deal. And those 3 books are going to change your perspective. And if you are interested in learning more about specifically Steal Like an Artist, I have a video dedicated to talking about this book and its impact, and I will put that right up here in the card on the top if you want to check that out. The next recommendation I want to talk about is another category. Similar to how books was a category, I want to talk about percussion instruments. These little percussion-y instrument guys. So I got a shaker. I got some shaker eggs, different kind of sound. And I have a tambourine. The shaker I got for 16 or 17 bucks. And the tambourine and eggs came in a pack for $13. These two together. And I like having these kind of things just around so that if there's ever a situation where I need to use and make my own loop, or if I'm not finding the loop that's feeling how I want it to feel, I can hand play a lot of that percussion instruments. And sometimes it's just really nice to hand play the percussion instruments anyway, just because it gives it that little bit of organic feel to some of your tracks, especially if you're doing like a lo-fi thing or something that's going to be a hip-hop thing that can sometimes be really sample driven, one-shot driven, and instead of it feeling so stale, having a little bit of organicness of you playing into it can give it a little bit of a texture, a little bit different feel instead of it feeling so robotic. The last recommendation I'm going to give you is for your content creation needs in music production, and that is a tripod for your phone. You don't need to have a fancy camera like this to make content. You got great stuff right in a modern, cell phone, and the cameras are all really great in that. But being able to have a phone tripod, of which I do not have currently because I cannot find mine, but a phone tripod in order to not have to try to place your phone in random places and, try to find a spot for it to sit correctly. Instead, you could just kind of place it anywhere. I suggest getting one with a top that kind of extends a little bit, so that way you can put it on the ground if you needed to, or put it on a desk and get the right height adjustment in case your desk might be short or you might need it to sit a little tall or wide or wonky or something. Gives a little bit of flexibility to that. But some of those also come with remote controls in case you want to grab a picture or for a thumbnail, or you want to take a picture of you and your friends for Instagram or something. Or if you want to start and stop a recording, a lot of those will come with little Bluetooth remotes that you can use for that. So that's all my under $25 recommendations. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to pick up any of these things we talked about, the links will be in the description of this video. Those are affiliate Amazon links. So if you want to find something else, feel free. But those just go to help out the channel a little bit. I hope this gave you some good gift ideas, and if it did, or if there's some other great recommendations for under $25, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them and maybe add them to a future video. That's gonna be all for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.